Oh, hello there. I didn't see you come in. Welcome. I'm I'm just laying here doing my thing. My wife's over there doing professional grown-up stuff, and it's a conversation that I probably should have just had specifically with her, but seeing as how I put all my business on YouTube, I figured this would be the place to do it. I I feel bad when my wife tries to do something and it's difficult to be an adult, you know? Like, we got married in 2013, and she said it herself. We were like on top of the world, like we were untouchable, nothing could stop us. And it was a difficult time for us. Difficult in the sense that we moved into this place February of 2013, and I didn't have a job until November of 2013. So we may have taken some liberties in an attempt to keep things organized. And I think one of the unfortunate casualties of that was my wife's credit. And I feel badly for that because as as the person whom was older, I should have taken better precautions or I should have known better. I'll be honest, as a kid, I didn't give a shit about credit. It's just, and there's still a part of me that still does it. It's like, congratulations, you can have imaginary money. Because that's all credit is imaginary money. The more imaginary money you have, the more they're willing to give you so that you can pay them back more. I always wanted to be that person who just skipped that step completely. And people will say like, "Oh well, there's something in my eye." They'll be like, "Well, you need good credit to buy a house, and if you have good credit, you'll buy a house." It's like, look, that's true, but a couple of things. One, in this day and age, it's much cheaper to rent than it is to buy a house. Secondly, if I can't afford the payments, what does it matter how good my credit is? Because if I can't afford it, then I'm just going to be jacking up my credit in an attempt.
Because if you can have a good paying job and go and get a house, but it doesn't mean you have all the money up front. If you have good credit, you can say, "Hey, I'm good for this." Then you get approved for the house, and then you can pay your monthly payments, and you're still building your credit. Credit just lets people know you're trustworthy.
I, I'm not saying you're wrong because you're right. That sounds feasible, but it still just to me just sounds like we trust you to pay us back, so we're gonna kind of loan you some money, and you get to pay us back more because the finance rates and the APRs and all of that are going to be huge. So we put down a little bit of money on a house with A1 credit, like best credit you can get. And if it's $100,000 house, we're going to end up paying like $150,000 for it. Like,
Honestly, it's not. I don't even want to do it because oh, it's loan money or for buying a house or anything. It's just the fact that there is something that could potentially hold me back from something I want in the future or make it more difficult, I feel the need to fix that. It's like that's just my personality. It's like there's something I need to fix it. It's like I don't even have any plans for it. It's just I know it's like I don't have $5,000 to pay back and whatever I owe. But if I were to approve for a credit card, even if he says $100 limit a month, I would spend $10 a month and then pay 15 back until I have a reasonable credit score. You know what I mean?
I understand. Like, I sure hope that the camera picked you up. Otherwise, it was just me staring off into space for 40 seconds. Like, I understand that. I really do. It's just, I don't know what I can do about it. And
I wonder what your credit is.
you can look if you like, but oh, I'm sure my credit is garbage. Like,
It's probably better than
I
mine.
wouldn't even know how to begin to look. But yeah, feel
Not
free.
allowed to.
You know all my information. See, I think credit credit is a crutch in my opinion because I learned late in life, I think later than most people should, that there's a difference between attain and maintain. I can get stuff, but can I keep the stuff? Like, I moved into a place with a woman whom did not deserve me. And we were able to attain the place and attain a car, but we lacked what was necessary to maintain everything. And it all came crumbling down on me. I'll never forget this. I'll tell this story whenever the opportunity is appropriate. I just moved into my place, and I was standing out on my balcony, and my friend Devon called me, and he was like, "So, what's your next move?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" He was like, "Your next move, like, you're engaged, you've got the place, you've got your car, you got a job. What's next?" It's like, dude, nothing. I made it. Like, this is it. This is what I wanted. Like, I got it. And while I still have that sort of attitude, I now understand why saying something like that in 2006 was horribly misplaced. Like, sure, I had a job, but it was like a temp job. Sure, I had a place, but it was in a bad neighborhood. Sure, I was engaged to be married, but it was to a lazy cunt who wasn't going to do anything. Sure, we had a car, but on my way from taking Kari to school, it caught on fire. Like, it was a mess. I So while the goal is still the same, get a place, get married, have a family, settle down, that was the goal. Now, at the ripe old age of 43 years old, I understand what that entails. But when you're young, you just bulletproof everything. You're untouchable when you're a kid. But you get older and you realize that you had all the bulletproof vests, but getting shot still hurt. So to watch my wife go through these struggles and see, oh, she's trying to get loans to pay for school and she's having issues, and she's doing so good. Last semester, out of a possible 4.0, she had a 4.3. And then it's like, did you say this year you can have a possible 115 points?
I can have 115 points in the class that I'm in, but I have 107.
Yeah, so like the top she could get was 115 points. She's got 117 points.
I don't know how it works yet.
Like, she's above and beyond the Call of Duty. She's a smart cookie. And I would hate to see something like this get cut short or cut prematurely because of mistakes from our past, or because our credit wasn't the best, or because we didn't dot an I or cross a T for the appropriate student loan. That would disappoint me greatly. So here's hoping that she can get that sorted out. And I will do whatever I can do to facilitate such a thing, if such a thing is possible. I'm going to do my best. I did get up today and I applied for a place or two, which was fine, but I need to double and triple those efforts because time is running out. It's so funny because I'm reminded of, was that 2016? Yeah, it was 2016 when I took our last $200 and I got that guard car and I sat around and I waited. I had no idea where the next rent payment was coming from. We didn't know what was going on, and I got a call, and it just turned everything around. So, based on past experience, that's kind of where we need to be now. I'm just gonna keep throwing stuff up against the wall until I see what sticks, and whoever hires me will have acquired the services of all of this. I will do the job for them, and it's just got to happen soon. And I want to be able to provide for my wife in such a way that her needs are met, but also she can continue her education so she can do more. Like, that's what married people do, right? One of them like works a little harder while the other one goes through school, and then when they get out of college and they do their thing, then the other can go to school while the second one pays. Like, that's kind of the way it works. So that's kind of what we're aiming for, and I want to be able to do more for her. I do. But I've babbled long enough. I am going to. Wow, my shirt is really crooked. I'm going to spend the rest of the evening with the most beautiful woman in the world, and we'll see what happens.